Hello, and welcome to my video on another cloverleaf treatment. I originally, early last year, set about recording my findings on a product called Cloverleaf. This is an anti-blanket weed treatment for ponds and generally works fairly well. However, I have since moved away from Cloverleaf mainly because of the white residue that it leaves behind once a blanket weed has been treated. It is very hard to remove from your pond, a lot of hoovering is required, and even then you cannot get it all out. Also, it's terribly unsightly. I discovered and researched another product called pink crystals that is available from Orchard Fisheries, and it has been fairly fantastic throughout 2016. It does not cloud up your water, and there has been no white residue left behind, but sadly, I have found recently it struggles to work in colder weather conditions. This has now brought on a fairly major outbreak of blanket weed in my pond, and it constantly is blocking up my filters. I have redosed my pond around 4 weeks ago with pink crystals, but unfortunately it did not have any effect. The blanket weed is still growing. I'm convinced it only works when the temperature of the water reaches around 10 Celsius, and I am currently around 5 or 6. So as a last resort, I decided to put in the last of the Cloverleafs Blanket Answer I had left. This is roughly 2 kilograms worth for the volume of water I have. As you can see from the video, it is very milky as expected, so it should be interesting to see if it can deal with the blanket weed in cold conditions. We shall see in a few days' time. It's now been 3 days since I introduced the cloverleaf treatment into my pond. It is still very cloudy, so hard to see if any progress has been made. You'll have to excuse the chickens, they're always hungry and they follow me everywhere. I'm unable to see the bottom drain at present due to the treatment, but from what I can see, it doesn't look like the treatment has started to break down the blanket weed just yet. As you'll see in a moment around the waterfall area, it's choked with stuff. I hardly had any last year, and this was from spring right the way through to autumn. The odd little bit here and there, yes, but nothing like this. Not a lot is happening really in the pond. The lily baskets are still choked with weed. I have a very funny feeling, to be honest. I'm going to have to drain the pond in April and jet wash the entire thing, including the baskets, to solve this problem. Anyway, I'll do another video in the next day or so and update you on the progress. It has now been 5 days since I put in the treatment to kill the blanket weed. I cannot really tell if there has been any progress made just yet, as it's still slightly cloudy. Looks like my chickens and golden pheasants seem to be enjoying the milder weather anyway. There are, however, some clumps floating around on the surface that have broken off. I'm hoping this is a sign that the cloverleaf has started to work its wonders. I'm not sure if it's my imagination or not, but to me it does look like the blanket weed is a little different today. Maybe lighter in colour perhaps. I've still got a thought in the back of my mind about draining the pond and getting rid of it once and for all with the jet wash. I'm also contemplating changing the filter system to an Aquasource Synergy Combi 35 in the not too distant future. This would really alleviate a lot of the manual cleaning I have to do, but more about that in another video. At the moment, unfortunately, I'm stuck with manual cleaning. I'm hoping in the next couple of days there will be some sort of sign that this is working, but I will keep you updated in another video. We are now a week into the treatment and the water has cleared considerably. You can clearly see the fish, and if you look carefully enough, the bottom drain too. Looking around the pond, the blanket weed doesn't seem to be breaking down at all. It may have changed slightly in appearance, but I'm not convinced just yet it has started to work. I'm almost certain now this is another product that cannot work in colder conditions. It does say on the cloverleaf container that it works best in temperatures above 10 degrees, but unfortunately I'm still around 6 degrees at present. The waterfall is exactly the same as it was when I started the treatment 1 week ago. Nothing seems to have changed there whatsoever. It is a little hard to see with the light reflecting on the water the extent in which the blanket weed has taken grip on my pond, so if you give me a moment I'll climb over the waterfall and hopefully you'll be able to see the bottom a little better. Hopefully this time I won't fall in. Looking from a different angle, you can now see that the treatment hasn't really done anything. It's a shame really. It doesn't look like I'm going to have it does look like I'm going to have to clean the pond out the old-fashioned way in a few weeks' time. I have chatted to a friend of mine about this, and to be honest, we are both a little perplexed on how it can be this bad in what's basically still winter. It shouldn't be growing really, as the light levels are much lower and there really isn't any direct sunlight on the pond during the winter. I'll give it a few more days and see if there's any improvements, and I'll update you on another video. Well, it's now been 10 days after I initially treated my pond with Cloverleafs Blanket Answer, and I'm starting to see the blanket weed die back slightly. It certainly is very slow at acting in cold weather conditions, but it is working. This is now the second winter in a row that the blanket weed has taken a grip like this, and I'm finding it hard to work out why. My water tests are all coming back fine, but my phosphate levels, direct from the tap, are slightly elevated. This could be the triggering factor once the pond heat levels have dropped below 10 degrees. I have spoken to orchard fisheries with regards to their pink crystals, which I do swear by, and they state that pink crystals should work fine in colder conditions, although maybe at a slower rate. Today I decided to drop all 3 of my vortex filters and clean them out. This has not been done since I introduced the cloverleaf treatment. What I did notice today was a horrible smell emitting from the filters, something I had not smelt before and was not there the other day. It really is not nice. I'm presuming this is from the reaction the cloverleaf has had with the blanket weed as it's dying off. I have, over the last few months, given a lot of thought to my filtration system and how it struggles when the blanket weed gets a hold. My only solution I can think of is to ride it out until the warmer weather is upon us and move over to a drum combi system such as the Aquasource Synergy 35. This will help me out considerably as I will not have to constantly clean out my filters every other day when the blanket weed blocks them up. Unfortunately, they are very expensive and I'm still thinking about it, but it does look like it's something I will purchase later on this year. It has now been 12 days since I introduced the Cloverleafs Blanket Answer into my pond, and I am happy to finally say it looks like it's starting to kill off the blanket weed. To stop my filters getting choked up with blanket weed, I have put a micro mesh bag on the inlet into the first vortex. This will help to catch all of the dying blanket weed before it has a chance to block up my other filters. This is working, but I have to empty it at least twice a day at present. I am in a few weeks' time going to get the pond vac out and see if I can clean out the remains of the cloverleaf treatment from the pond. It does leave a very unsightly residue over the liner, but if it fails, I do think I will be emptying the pond and jet washing it. Once the pond is full of water again, I will be dosing it up with pink crystals straight away, as this should see me right the way through until the colder weather returns. Hopefully by then I will have purchased a drum filter, so cleaning out the blanket weed from the filters will be a thing of the past. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you found it interesting. If you would like to see more videos on my pond or have any questions, feel free to comment in the comment section. Until the next video, bye for now.